Lucia made the courageous decision to give up the career her parents had always dreamed of for her. By abandoning medical school and marrying a simple and unassuming farmer, she faced her family's rejection. However, the future held unexpected surprises when the farm turned into an incredibly profitable business. Now, Lucia finds herself facing a difficult choice: to use her success as revenge against those who rejected her, or to let love and forgiveness prevail, overcoming differences and uniting a fragmented family. Hello, my friends. I am Linda, and this is Linda's Love Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. Since childhood, Lucia was aware of the fate her parents had meticulously planned for her. The daughter of two respected doctors, her path was clear from the moment she came into the world. Lucia, the youngest of three children, grew up closely observing the busy and tireless lives of her parents. From a young age, she witnessed her doctor parents on call, ready to attend to unexpected emergencies or bring new lives into the world. It was not uncommon for family dinners to be abruptly interrupted by urgent calls, holiday celebrations postponed, or even family vacations cancelled due to the pressing needs of their profession. However, Lucia was never disheartened by these constant interruptions. Instead, she deeply understood the honour and nobility surrounding her parents' vocation. Lucia's parents were always models of virtue and character for their three children, imparting the values that permeated the noble medical profession. Proudly, they never hid from anyone their hopes that all three children would follow the same path as they did. As the children grew up and approached adulthood, they chose to follow in the footsteps of their parents in medicine. When it was the youngest, Lucia's turn to take the next step toward her career, she found herself in an inner dilemma. As much as she deeply admired her parents and medicine, a shadow of doubt hovered over her. Lucia did not want to merely follow a predefined path. She yearned for certainty about her true vocation. Lucia then gathered the courage to approach her mother about her idea of dedicating a year to volunteer work or other activities, in order to reflect more deeply on her true calling in medicine. "Lucia, medicine requires many years of study and dedication," her mother responded seriously. "Losing an entire year would be a waste of time. There is no doubt, my love, we raised you for this, and I believe it is the right path for you." Faced with her mother's firm response, Lucia realised that any other path she chose to take would be a deep disappointment to her parents. The weight of family expectations and the feeling of swimming against the current haunted her, putting her in conflict with her own aspirations and the pressure to live up to the hopes her parents had placed on her from the beginning. Lucia enrolled in college. At first, she was motivated by the novelty of the university experience. She plunged into a new world, surrounded by new classmates and immersed in an exciting academic environment. As the subjects she studied became more technical and specialised, Lucia began to feel like a fish out of water. She was surrounded by complex medical terms and academic challenges that required a passion she did not feel. She started to question whether this was the life she truly wanted. Whenever Lucia thought about quitting, her parents' expectations loomed over her like a constant shadow. Her two older brothers had already graduated and were embarking on promising specializations in the medical field. The idea of being the daughter who would disappoint her parents was an almost unbearable emotional burden for Lucia. She did not want to be the reason why her parents would feel sadness or disappointment. During a long holiday weekend, a university friend invited Lucia to attend a festival that would take place in her hometown, located in the interior of the country. The festival was a tradition in that town and was known for its captivating musical performances and an incredible variety of typical food and drinks. It was a 3-day celebration, full of excitement and local culture. Lucia, wanting some relief for her mind tired from academic pressures and uncertainties about her future in medicine, promptly accepted her friend's invitation. The town was about 3 hours away from the metropolis where they both studied, a journey that promised a welcome break from routine. When Lucia finally arrived at the festival, she was completely enchanted by the rural atmosphere that surrounded her. The event celebrated the tradition and way of life of that town, and there was something genuine and captivating in every detail. Lucia wandered through the animal exhibitors' aisles, gazing with fascination at the various species displayed. She also strolled through the stalls where local producers proudly showed off their fresh vegetables and greens, which seemed to shine under the sunlight. The festival was a true celebration of local cuisine, with stalls offering a wide variety of delicious traditional foods. Lucia delighted in the authentic flavors of the region, each dish offering a unique and savory experience. While exploring the festival, Lucia's colleague introduced her to her family, and among the members was a cousin named Enrico. When their eyes met, an instant connection formed between Lucia and Enrico, as if fate had decided to intertwine their paths in that magical and unexpected moment. It was as if the festival, with its welcoming atmosphere and the fortuitous meeting with Enrico, was casting a new light on Lucia's uncertain future. During those 3 magical days that Lucia spent in that town, she and Enrico seemed inseparable. It was as if 2 completely different worlds had collided, giving rise to something extraordinary and special. At the end of those 3 unforgettable days, Lucia and Enrico said goodbye with the sincere promise to stay in touch and the determination to meet again soon. In the weeks that followed, communication between them flowed daily and the topic seemed endless. Finally, after some time, Enrico got some time off and decided to travel to meet Lucia. The excitement they felt was palpable, as they were eager to reunite in person. When introducing Enrico to her family, Lucia felt a bit worried. She noticed that her parents were not very enthusiastic upon learning that she was involved with a country boy. "Lucia, we think it's time for you to dedicate yourself fully to your studies," her father expressed seriously. "You have a promising future ahead of you, and we don't want this relationship to distract you from your goals. He belongs to another world." What Lucia's parents didn't realize was that Enrico played a crucial role in helping her deal with her anxiety about the future. For Lucia, having someone to talk to every day became a daily relief, a constant source of support and emotional comfort. It was time for goodbyes, and Enrico had exciting news to share with Lucia before returning home. "Lucia, I just bought a large farm," he said with a sparkle in his eyes. "My parents and grandparents lent me some money, and I'm about to start working on my own land. I would love for you to come and see it." Lucia, taken by surprise and the pride she felt for Enrico, enveloped him in a strong hug, congratulating him enthusiastically on the acquisition of the farm. During the university holidays, Lucia did not hesitate to rush to spend time with Enrico on his farm. Throughout the holiday period, Lucia plunged headfirst into working alongside Enrico. Their goal was to plant grapes and take the first steps toward a grape juice and wine production business. Following the tradition of his family, who had been in the business for many years, he intended to boost production. It was an exciting project. As they worked together, the love between Lucia and Enrico grew even stronger. The time came for Lucia to return to her studies, but she was determined to take a decisive step in her life. She had made the difficult decision to drop out of medical school and join Enrico in this bold project to create their own farm and venture into grape juice and wine production. When Lucia informed her family about her choice, her parents were deeply distressed by their daughter's decision. They expressed their concerns and disappointments sincerely and intensely. "Lucia, you are not thinking straight," her mother lamented with regret. "There is no future with this young man. You need to get your head straight. We invested in your education so that you would have a solid and secure profession." When her parents realized that their arguments were not succeeding in convincing their daughter to change her decision, they resorted to a drastic threat. "Lucia, if you do not reconsider your decision, do not consider yourself part of this family anymore," they declared firmly. It was an extreme measure, adopted in the hope that it would make Lucia reconsider her choice. Lucia remained firm in her decision, believing that time could heal the wounds and bring reconciliation with her parents. After a few months, she and Enrico decided to celebrate a modest wedding ceremony to formalize their union. Although her parents were invited, to Lucia's disappointment, they did not attend the celebration. The distance between Lucia and her parents seemed to grow as time went by, and the months turned into years. 5 years had passed since Lucia's family had cut ties with her. One Christmas, the family was gathered, but Lucia had not been invited. There was a palpable void in the celebration, yet the pride and disappointment continued to prevent her parents and relatives from making any effort to reach out to Lucia. During the Christmas celebration, one of Lucia's brothers brought a wine from a new brand that had recently received an international award. Everyone was amazed by the exceptional quality of the product, and Lucia's parents, being wine enthusiasts and connoisseurs, decided to research more about the farm that produced the wine. The surprise was immense when they discovered that the farm in question was owned by Lucia and Enrico. Additionally, a news report stated that the company they managed was now worth approximately $55 million. The revelation left everyone astonished. Lucia's parents found themselves facing a powerful paradigm shift. Throughout their journey, they had vehemently insisted that Lucia pursue a medical career, believing it was the key to a stable and secure life. However, in the process, they had never truly considered their daughter's unique desires and vocations. The revelation that Lucia had thrived and achieved success in a completely different field, something they had never imagined possible, shook their deeply rooted convictions. Discovering that Lucia and Enrico had built a successful business and a prosperous life in farming and wine production forced them to reassess their beliefs and prejudices. It was time for Lucia's parents to set aside their pride and seek reconciliation with their daughter. Determined to mend the errors of the past, they decided to visit Lucia and Enrico's farm. When they arrived, they were greeted by Enrico, who welcomed them with a warm smile. "What a wonderful surprise," Enrico said with excitement. "Lucia will be very happy to see you here. If you had arrived yesterday, you would have witnessed the birth." Lucia's father was puzzled and asked, "Birth? What birth?" Enrico then led them inside the house to the couple's bedroom. When they entered the room, they found Lucia holding a newborn baby in her arms. It was an emotional and meaningful scene that left them shocked and surprised. Lucia, upon seeing her parents, smiled with love and forgiveness. In a gesture of reconciliation, her parents approached their daughter and grandson, embracing them warmly and affectionately. Words of apology and regret spilled from their lips amidst tears of emotion. It was the beginning of a journey to rebuild their family bonds, strengthened by the understanding that, in the end, love and forgiveness were more powerful than any misunderstanding or pride. If you enjoyed, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with a number from 1 to 5 to let us know how much you liked the story. Also, watch the video that is currently on your screen. See you soon.